Alright everyone, hey, it's me, Pashta and Bogart. Today I thought that I would make another video based off of my results with Sorath. I mean, for the past couple of days, I've been seeing immediate results by the path working with Sorath. It's been quite amazing. What I mean by that is, as I'm working with him, it's just so amazing that Sorath is such an immense individual. You know, either you want to look at him as that solar energy from the sun, a planetary spirit, or just a daemon that he himself is, an attention, individual that is just there to just guide you along your path. And it's interesting. It really is interesting working with him, and I really fucking mean that because here I am. I'm fucking like working with him, and I'm getting fucking like immediate results. Like as far as like I put out there the results of, okay, this is what I want you to do. Could you make this happen? And he's like, yeah, sure. No sooner after Beelzebub does the cleansing, I was able to work with Sorath on such a level where it's like, wow, these suppressed memories are like really being put to the fore, and I'm being put to the test. In other words, these challenges are really making me to acknowledge such memories. They're forcing me to look at them and to acknowledge what the hell am I supposed to fucking do. And I'm looking at them and I'm like getting the answer for each and every suppressed memory is giving me such a beautiful solution to what I need to pay attention to. So, in other words, recently, today, Sorath helped me to appreciate results. And I'm thinking, like, what does he mean by results? Sorath is teaching me, motivating me to look at my results throughout my whole entire lineage of being with Satan. See, in my path working in the spell of prosperity, which took and still is taking in the process of 4 to 5 years in my undertaking, this July or possibly even August would be the full 5th year of me developing this spell of prosperity. But yet, Sorath has helped me to appreciate by looking at it what are the results that led me to where I'm at in the present. And by doing so, I'm able to appreciate the here and now. And also what leads me to the future. Because we have to look at the past to understand where we're at in the present that affects the future. Even though, if you look at it through the eyes of the tarot, it's not written in stone. So, in other words, when we look through our tarot card readings, divination, we have to really appreciate that things are not written in stone. So, in other words, as we look at a potential future, that's all it really is. It's just a potential future. It's an outcome that's there, but you can't change it. Now, in what ways? Well, it's really up to you. Because if you really think about it, when Sorath helped me to appreciate the results, he was helping me to appreciate, and this is me putting it in miniature, putting it in such a way where I could really understand, that you could understand. And he helped me to see that you have to just go with the flow. So in other words, if you allow the challenges to overtake you, you would not be here where you're at right now as you work with either Sorath or any of the daemons or even the Olympian spirits, planetaries, whatever spirits that you work with, your guardians, right? It's all about the results. Every result that you have along the way that led you to where you're at. And that dictates a lot. But in other words, it's not written in stone unless you're met with the challenge and then that challenge overtakes you. So no wonder when I'm going through this up and down, this tossing and turning with Sorath, all he's doing is just really refining me. He's helping me to appreciate that I have to look at my past. I have to delve deep within it to acknowledge what type of person I've become. And the type of person I've become is someone who is, like yourself, an individual that loves the left hand path, but then at the same time, I have a platform that I can help educate by means of guidelines only to help you guys to appreciate that you need to continue doing what the fuck you guys are doing in the left hand path. And the reason being is the fact that if you guys stop doing what you're doing, no matter what it is, it doesn't have to be the spell of prosperity like myself. Like I said, it could be anything. But you need to stick with it and don't give up. Because it's those little results along the way that help you to appreciate those results make you. Those little lessons, it make you. Think of it. What if I throw a trick question to you? I throw it your way and I purposely try to teach you something in such a way where I really want you to better understand what the fuck results are and how you could benefit. In fact, let me just do that. Here's a trick question. You have the right hand path religions and you have the left hand path. What if in the right hand path this Abrahamic God were to put before you an example of an individual that came from, let's say, prison? He's reformed and he's learned the Abrahamic ways, the Abrahamic teachings. He stopped smoking or whatever the guidelines are. And mind you, as a additional disclaimer, don't think that when I say Abrahamic religions, there's nothing good that comes out of them. Because obviously I do believe there are certain good points that all religion has to offer. But it's really up to the individual if they're going to basically accept it as truth. I just wanted to actually bring that out so people don't think that I'm coming down on Abrahamic religions. But let me continue. The individual leaves that prison. He reforms himself. He makes needed changes. And now he's a priest. He's a Christian. And that's what the Abrahamic God has done for them. Changed his life around. Now the trick question is, Satan does the same thing. Individual leaves the prison cell. He's reformed. Same changes. Question. What's the difference? What's the difference between the Abrahamic God doing it and Satan? They both change for the better. How could you see the difference in that? Well, if you're like myself, and by default, you're probably thinking more or less of how, if you think about the Spirit of Yahweh, the Holy Spirit, that Spirit motivates individuals to pretty much do His will, His bidding. But upon doing study of the Holy Spirit, you begin to realize like that Holy Spirit, it's actually within everything according to its belief system. Which means if you don't have the Holy Spirit, then you're not under the mindset of this Abrahamic God, correct? So which means that you're not his slave. You're not his co-worker, whatever it is that you want to call it. But there lies the answer. If you do not have that Holy Spirit, then you're not in, well, pretty much common ground with him. You're not a slave of this Abrahamic God, even though you may feel you have free will. But that's exactly the difference. Because the idea of the left-hand path is that you distance yourself. You distance yourself from the divine. And you actually take matters within your own hand. And you become that living God. You become that individual that you're meant to be. You're not being sculpted by someone else. But you're becoming your own God. Whereas when you look at a situation where the individual leaves prison and the Abrahamic God has his hands in the matter, did he really leave prison? Did he really stop living a life where he stops being told what to do? Or is he in fact continuing it, but under a different leader, a different master. It proves a point, doesn't it? It helps you to appreciate that as you look at that example, it's not really freedom, but of course, it's perspective. I mean, after all, I am trying to be respectful for all those who are watching what I'm saying, but I'm only delivering the truth or my side of it. You see, when I think about the results of Sorath, he's helped me to appreciate that. The results do matter, and it matters that much. Because if you think about the results and you're becoming your own living God, you're ascending, you're doing something that matters most to you, you're growing into yourself. That is time for reflection, and it's time for you to understand accountability and responsibility for your actions. You're not begging for forgiveness for some other individual that claims that they want to teach you to be a better version of yourself, whereas they're the ones who's actually doing all the molding. You're doing less of the thinking, and you're allowing them to have the steering wheel. So the results that I've learned from Sorath along the way by working with him is that when I look at my path working with Satan, it's worthwhile. It really is. Hell, when I'm looking at the results that Sorath has brought to the surface and I'm observing these things, it's really helping me to appreciate that as I look at these situations, it really does motivate me to do more. Hell, it motivated me to do this very video because as I look at everything all around me, what I'm trying to change around me, it takes hard work. It takes a lot of hard work, not just to make a video, to have a platform, to teach others about Satan and his glory, and helping him in such a way where people can understand who he is. But I, in turn, benefit. And I benefit because I, too, just like yourself, am learning. And that is true ascension. True ascension is constantly being in a process of learning. You're learning to a point where as you're doing all these things, you're benefiting. You're benefiting because you're evolving. You're evolving to a better version of self. That's why I don't regret what I do here on YouTube. I don't regret what I do by saying the things that I say. I try to be as respectful as possible to all persons' beliefs, but I try to get my point across because my job is to give glory to Satan. If individuals don't like my image, they don't like the fact that I'm doing what I do, then you don't have to. But I know that I'm prepared to do this, and I'm here for the long haul. Because if you follow the advice of your particular guardian, like me, Sorath has helped me to appreciate you need to go with the fucking flow. And as you go with the flow, you're going to benefit. And that means that you accept each and every challenge along the way. That means not folding. Because if I were to fold a year ago, I would not be where I'm at. Think about it. There is someone that is going to be inspired enough to look at this video, to even be on YouTube themselves, to use it as a catalyst to spread the message of Satan. And that is my goal. That's why I say it's nothing but a guideline. I'm not your leader, but I'm someone that wants to share information that is real. It's based off of the knowledge, concrete knowledge, and my experience, direct experience with Satan, Sorath, Beelzebub, and Klonak, and amongst others of the Goetian, that I could impart upon you, so that you could at least write it down, at least memorize it. Because like myself, you probably listen to this video, and sometimes later, when it matters most, time of desperation, you're going to remember my words. And you're going to probably think twice about if you really want to work with the Goetia or whatever the situation that you're basically undertaking. But do know the message that I give, especially through this channel, it's about results. Working hard, believing in what you believe. Because you know what? That's what makes you who you really are. your true version of yourself. A lot of people don't really see that. Interestingly enough, they turn to New Age light workers, and I have no problems with them, no qualms with them. Hell, when I do tarot card readings, I'll be the first one to look at them because it's interesting to me. I have no problems. I'm open to it. It's cool. But here in the left-hand path, it's different because it's darker, and it forces you to look at the challenges and become that darkness, to become that pestilence. And the reason being is that what good is it for anyone if you could only accept only the positive and not the negative? That's not good at all. So you have to accept both. But you know what? It's really up to the individual if what they want to do. All I'm here to say is that I appreciate the results that Sorath have given me, and I benefited from it. Throughout the first ritual that I've done with Sorath, and it's already March 5th, and I'm still benefiting from his quick results, helping me to benefit. There's nothing else I'd rather do than doing what I'm doing now, teaching. Hell, I'm gonna be honest with you. I said to myself that I don't even want to do a video today because I just want to take a break. But meditating upon Sorath and what he has done for me, I couldn't just put this off for tomorrow, next week. I had to do it today. Because that's what the left-hand path means to me, deeply. Satan has been with me since I was a baby. I've always been born of Satan, on the left-hand path. Despite what some may not like what I look like, they may not like what I say, hell, I don't give two shits about it. Because what I believe in is different than what you believe in. And if you're not willing to accept it, then so what? I love what I do. And I really do love sharing this information for those who are interested, that want to evolve into something more, to get rid of the stereotype of how they view Sorath, that he's someone that you need to stay away from. All that is just trash on the internet. Work with Sorath. See, all of the Goetia, just like people, they have something about themselves that tells you that you don't want to fuck with them. You're no different than the Goetia. So with that said and done, work with Sorath. See how it bodes well for you. But of course, I will put this disclaimer. He's not for beginners. But if you want to work toward Sorath, perhaps work with a planetary spirit or the planetary version of Sorath, because he does represent the sun. That aspect of him could be a lot more lighter. But the idea is, work with him. Feel his immense teaching. It's going to be intense. And again, it's not for beginners, but you're going to benefit. Now with that said, friends, as I always say at the ending of all my videos, which is accustomed to all of us here as you look at these videos, if you want to subscribe, please do so. It benefits me, and I thank you for that. Smash the like button. That also benefits me. If you want to hear more videos, see more videos, please support me, because I really do love doing what I do on the left-hand path. And I mean that because either people appreciate it or not, it's something that I feel I have to do. It's my destiny. Just like it could be your destiny working with Sorath. Your destiny being on the left-hand path. Don't allow the discouragement of BS that's already out there about Sorath and Satan to discourage you. Keep on walking the left-hand path if you're interested. And if you're on the left-hand path, do just that. I love you all, and thank you for listening to my video about Sorath. I love you all, and see you in my next video. Bye.